They call me cold. Heartless. A monster. Maybe they're right. But they didn't see what she did when she thought I wouldn't fight back. They didn't see what was carved into the place I once called home. They just saw me walking away. Calm. Too calm. And that's why they're all so afraid to ask what really happened. She stared at me with that stubborn spark in her eyes and said, "My ex is coming to our party. Be cool, or it's over." And I just smiled and said, "Oh, don't worry. I'll be very cool." And I was. Just not in the way she expected. I'm 31, an architect by trade and a planner by nature. My world runs on blueprints, structure, and quiet certainty. Karen, my girlfriend of 2 years, is the exact opposite. She's chaos wrapped in red lipstick, a vibe person, as she likes to say. For the longest time, I thought that contrast made us work. I was the solid foundation, she was the wild paint on the walls. We'd been living together for about 8 months in an apartment that I signed for before she moved in. It's my lease, my name, my place. I cover 70% of the rent and every single utility. It wasn't a sore spot, I make good money, and she works part-time as a stylist. I thought of it as teamwork. I'd planned a massive spring party to celebrate, not just with our friends, but as a kind of housewarming meets life's good moment. And if you know me, you know I don't do halfway. Weeks went into that plan. I'd recently finished building this custom smart home system I call Aura, my little masterpiece. Not some plug-and-play gadget. No. A dedicated server tucked in the hall closet that syncs music, lighting, and 3 digital art displays across the apartment. Everything timed to the second. Warm amber light. Lo-fi beats. Minimalist digital art that shifts like breathing. I dropped $1,200 on catering and curated a bar cart stocked with $800 worth of top-shelf tequila, whiskey, and gin. Everything was perfect. The playlists were locked, the light set, the vibe ready. Then, 3 days before the party, she dropped a bomb. She wouldn't look me in the eye at first. Just twisted the hem of her shirt and said softly, "So, you know how Julian's in town?" And just like that, my stomach turned to ice. Julian. 29. The ex. The ex. The soul crusher she claimed she was totally over, but still somehow managed to bring up every third conversation. "Yeah," I said slowly, keeping my voice as neutral as I could. "Well, I ran into him. And I invited him to the party." I just stared at her. The silence between us was loud, louder than anything Aura could play. "You invited your ex to our party. Without even asking me." She snapped back, defensive and sharp. "God, Alex, don't be like that. It's not a big deal. We're adults. We're friends. He just wants to see the new place. It would be weird not to invite him." I took a slow breath. I'm not comfortable with that. This is our night, with our friends. It's weird. I don't want him here. And then she gave me that look. The one where she decides the argument's already over. Her jaw tightened. "Look, he's coming. I already told him. I'm not going to uninvite him just because you're feeling insecure. He's my friend. He's coming. It's only a big deal if you make it one." She inhaled, steady and deliberate. And then she said the line that snapped something deep inside me. "Be cool about it. Seriously. If you're going to be paranoid and weird, it just makes me think we have a problem. Be cool, or it's over. Be cool or it's over." Our 2-year relationship suddenly had a price tag, my self-respect. And in that moment, I saw it all like a blueprint laid bare. Every tiny crack I'd ignored. Every compromise that was actually a test. "You're right," I said quietly. Her lips curved into this smug little smile. "See? I knew you'd understand." I smiled too. "No. I mean you're right. I'll be very cool." Friday night came. And everything looked exactly how I'd imagined. The lighting was soft amber, music floating through the apartment like smoke. My friends were laughing, drinks in hand, the art display slowly shifting through landscapes. It was perfect. Karen floated through the crowd in a red dress, the kind of red that screams "look at me." She was radiant, confident, glowing. I couldn't help but think, of course she picked that dress for him. Then at 9 p.m. sharp, the doorbell rang. Karen shot me a look, part warning, part plea. "Be cool," her eyes said. I smiled. "Don't worry. I got it." I opened the door, and there he was. Julian. Exactly as I'd pictured. Messy artist hair, that trying too hard scruffy charm. "Hey, man. I'm Julian," he said, extending a hand. I shook it with the biggest, most welcoming grin I've ever mustered. "Julian. Welcome. So glad you could make it. Karen's been dying to see you." Thanks, man," he said, looking slightly thrown off. And then Karen appeared, all radiant and glowing. "Julian. You made it." She wrapped him in a hug that lingered just a second too long. He kissed her cheek. And I watched. The mature adults. Then I turned to her, still smiling. "Well, he's here. My job's done. You two have fun." I grabbed my jacket off the hook. Her smile faltered. What are you doing, Alex? Stop being dramatic. People are here." "I'm not being dramatic," I said calmly, sliding my phone into my pocket. I turned to Julian, who looked like someone just handed him a live grenade. "She's all yours, man. I was just leaving." "Leaving?" she hissed. "Alex. Get back here." But I didn't. I walked out. My friends Ben and Will saw everything. And they know me, I don't pull stunts. When I say I'm done, I mean it. Ben caught up to me in the hallway. "Dude, what about the party?" "She gave me an ultimatum," I said quietly. I took it. We got in the elevator, and I pulled up the Aura app on my phone. I scrolled to a script I wrote years ago, half as a joke. System_shutdown_hard.sh. Ben raised an eyebrow. What are you doing? Being cool, I said. And I tapped it. Later, Ben told me what happened inside. First, the music died. Mid-beat. Silence. Then every single light snapped to their blinding, default 100% white, the kind that makes you feel like you're standing in an operating room. Then the digital art screens went black. Dozens of people stood there blinking under the harsh light, drinks in hand, staring at each other. Karen panicked, fumbling at the wall panels like a pilot slapping useless buttons during a crash landing. Julian just muttered, weird. My colleagues, bless them, knew an out when they saw one. Wow, would you look at the time? I think my cat's sick. Within 10 minutes, everyone was gone. Karen's big night ended with her, Julian, and a few girlfriends surrounded by silent, blinding light and a mountain of expensive, rapidly cooling catering. My phone buzzed nonstop. Karen, turn it back on. Karen, Alex, you're being childish. Turn it on now. Karen, you ruined everything. I sent one text back. You told me to be cool or it's over. I chose over. Please have your things out by the end of the month. Then I blocked her number, turned off the app, and went for whiskey with the people who actually respect me. And you know what? It's funny. I spent months perfecting that party. And it ended up being the cleanest goodbye I've ever given. 1 week later, the ripples of that night hit like a tidal wave. Ben, Will, and I were sitting in this quiet little bar, nursing beers and wings, while my phone sat face down on the table, buzzing like it was trying to claw its way back to life. Unknown numbers. Dozens of texts. And at the top of it all? Alana. Alana, her best friend. Alana, Karen's crying. You're a monster. Alana, how could you humiliate her like that? Alana, she invited one person and you destroyed your relationship. You're pathetic. Alana, turn the internet back on. She can't even watch TV. Yeah, about that. Aura didn't just control the lights and music. It was the beating heart of the entire apartment. Router. Firewall. Network brain. When I hit shutdown, I didn't just cut the vibe, I pulled the plug on everything. No Wi-Fi. No streaming. No comfort. Just walls, silence, and regret. I ignored every ping. That weekend, I let myself breathe. Pizza. Video games. Ben's couch. A weekend without Karen's chaos. But by Monday, reality came knocking. I was still the only one on the lease. She wasn't just a guest anymore. Legally, after 30 days, she had rights. If I didn't handle this properly, I could end up with a squatter situation. So I did what I do best, I made a plan. I unblocked her number, just long enough to get things moving. Me, Karen, I'm serious. The relationship is over. I need you out by the 31st. Let me know when you're moving your things. Karen, you can't be serious. You're kicking me out over a party? After 2 years? I live here. Me, you don't live here. You live with me. And now you don't. You said, or it's over. I just agreed. Karen, you're a sociopath, Alex. A cold, calculating psycho. You tricked me. Me, telling you I'd be cool and then leaving when you disrespected me isn't a trick. It's a boundary. You have 26 days. Karen, I'm not going anywhere. This is my home. You'll have to evict me. And I'll tell everyone what you did. She thought I was bluffing. But bluffing isn't in my vocabulary. Then came Daria. Her mother. Daria, Alex, honey, I just spoke to Karen. She's a wreck. I'm so disappointed in you. You're 31, and you threw a tantrum like a toddler. Me, with all due respect, Karen gave me an ultimatum. Be cool or it's over. I accepted her terms. Daria, oh, don't be so literal. She was upset. Julian is a friend. You were jealous. Now you've made her homeless. Me, she's not homeless. She's living rent-free in my apartment. With no Wi-Fi. And her ex Julian is there too. I'd say she's doing fine. Silence. Daria, Julian staying there? Me, yep. Saw his jacket on the couch. I didn't tell her what else I saw. That would come later. Daria, you can't just throw her on the street. She put so much work into decorating that place. You owe her. Decorating? 3 throw pillows and a discount candle don't exactly equal a $4,000 sofa and a custom smart home system. Me, I don't owe her anything. She has until the 31st. That's the law. Goodbye, Daria. Click. Wednesday came with another sucker punch. A call from the building manager, Frank. Frank, hey, Alex. Weird situation. We got a complaint from your unit, from Karen. She said you abandoned the apartment and she's afraid you'll come back. She asked us to change the locks. For a second, everything in me went still. She was actually trying to lock me out of my own place. Me, Frank, I'm the sole leaseholder. She's my ex. She's refusing to leave. I've been staying with a friend to keep things calm. She's letting her ex-boyfriend stay there too. Frank, yeah, that's what I figured. I can't change locks for someone not on the lease. But Alex, this is getting messy. She's claiming tenant rights. Me, I'm already ahead of it. Step 1 of the blueprint, legal eviction. I paid $150 to hire a process server. Karen got served a 30-day notice to quit, a formal, legal document. No texts. No room for drama. The clock started ticking. Step 2, reclaim my property. I texted her. I'll be at the apartment at 10 a.m. tomorrow with a police escort, civil standby, to collect my personal property. You must let me in. No reply. Friday morning. 2 officers meet me in the lobby. Cop, you Alex? Let's go. Up we went. I slid my key into the lock. Deadbolt from the inside. Knock knock. Cop, ma'am, police. Open the door. Leaseholder is here to retrieve his belongings. A pause. Then the door cracked open. And there she was. Karen. In my bathrobe. Hair a mess. And behind her? Julian. Shirtless. On my sofa. The same sofa I paid for. The same one where she used to curl up next to me. Karen, you can't just barge in here. Cop, sighing, ma'am, he's on the lease. You're not. He's allowed to be here. We're just here to keep it civil. Julian actually stood up, chest puffed out like a confused peacock. Julian, hey, man. This isn't cool. This is our place now. I stared at him. Slowly. Me, is your name on the lease? Did you write a $4,200 rent check last week? No? Then sit down before the cops add you to the eviction notice. He sat down. Fast. Ben and Will were with me as witnesses. We walked in, calm and methodical. I opened the hall closet and started unplugging my server, the Heart of Aura. Karen, you're taking that? The lights won't work. Me, then you'll have to use switches. Like a caveman. Will boxed up my workstation, the custom PC I built, the one with a $5,000 graphics card. Karen, you can't take that. I use it. Me, you have a laptop. This is mine. Next stop, the kitchen. I unplugged my $900 espresso machine. Karen, Alex, no. Me, happy caveman mornings. And then, the bar cart. Bottle by bottle, I packed away every top shelf drop. Julian, bless his naive little heart, actually whispered. Julian, dude, not the booze. I lifted the single malt scotch, locked eyes with him, and dropped it into the box. 15 minutes later, we were done. She stood there in the doorway, finally crying. Karen, you're so petty, Alex. You're stealing. This is cruel. I stopped at the threshold. Me, no, Karen. This is mine. Cruel was the ultimatum. Cruel was inviting your ex into my home. Cruel is this. I held up the eviction notice. You have 28 days left. After that, the sheriff comes. And trust me, he won't be as cool as I am. And then I walked out. Right now, Ben and Will are helping me set up my server at Ben's place. It's warm. It's quiet. It's mine again. And something tells me she's not done fighting. But neither am I. 3 months later. This is the part nobody glamorizes. The part of justice that isn't dramatic or quick, just slow, expensive, and exhausting. Did Karen leave when her 30 days were up? Of course not. A week before the deadline, I got a call from her mom, Daria. Daria, Alex, you can't really go through with this. Karen's a mess. She'll have an eviction on her record. That's permanent. It'll ruin her life. Me, she's had 30 days to find a new place. She's an adult. Choices have consequences. Daria, but Julian left. She's alone. She can't afford a deposit. She has no savings. I'm supposed to be shocked that the soulmate artist bailed the second the free booze, cool tech, and rent-free luxury vanished? Yeah, totally stunned. Me, not my problem. She's not my girlfriend anymore. She's a squatter. If she's not out by Friday, I'm filing the eviction. Daria, you bastard. After everything she did for you. Me, what exactly did she do for me? Besides this? Click. Friday rolled around. Ben and I went by after work. Her stuff was still there. Door locked. Monday morning, I was in my lawyer's office. Here's where the real world hits you like a brick wall. You can't just snap your fingers and kick someone out. You need a lawyer. You need paperwork. You need patience. I paid a $500 retainer and filed an unlawful detainer lawsuit. It cost me actual money just to take back the apartment I was already paying for. Weeks crawled by. We got a court date. Karen didn't even bother showing up. Default judgment. Then we had to wait another 5 days for the sheriff to post the final notice to vacate. It ended up taking 45 days past the deadline. 45 days of sleeping on Ben's couch. 45 days of paying rent on a place I couldn't even set foot in. The day the sheriff came was something. I stood there with the landlord and 2 deputies. When they knocked, she started screaming from inside like a bad soap opera scene. Karen, you can't do this. This is my home. Alex, you're a psycho. You're obsessed with me. The deputies weren't having it. Deputy, ma'am, you have 15 minutes to pack essentials. The rest goes to the curb. She broke down. Full-on floor tantrum. Screaming, sobbing, the whole act. They had to physically escort her out. But what really froze me wasn't the screaming. It was what I saw after. They trashed the place. Not just messy, malicious. Someone had carved deep gouges into the hardwood with a knife or key. My $4,000 sofa was soaked in red wine. The hardwired digital art displays were smashed. A hammer to the screens. And the kitchen sink. They dumped a whole bag of flour and coffee grounds down the drain, then ran the water. It turned into concrete sludge. The damage estimate? $11,000. My sofa? Gone. And on the counter, under a greasy fast food bag, was a note scrawled in red marker. Hope it was worth it, you psycho. You ruined my life. So I ruined your sanctuary. You'll die alone. I picked it up and laughed. Cold. Hollow. That note was about to be the best $150 I ever spent on a process server. Justice, Part 1, the landlord. He was furious. Used my security deposit for part of the repairs, then immediately filed suit against Karen and Julian, as John Doe, for the remainder. He had my statement, the police report, and the sheriff's record. Justice, Part 2, me. I took every receipt I had, the sofa, the tech, the legal fees, the process server. I took timestamped before and after photos of the apartment. I took the note. I filed in small claims court for the maximum $10,000. She got served at her mom's house, where she'd been forced to move back in. Court day came. She showed up with Daria, looking like she'd rehearsed a tragic monologue. Karen, Your Honor, he's abusive. He stalked me. He turned off my heat. The heat was gas. It was never off. Judge, ma'am, I have the eviction judgment. You were removed by the sheriff. Let's talk about the damages. Karen, it was already like that. He's just trying to get money out of me. He's rich. I have nothing. Me, calmly, Your Honor, here are 30 time-stamped photos from the night of the party showing the apartment in perfect condition. Here are photos from the walkthrough with the deputies. Here's the sofa receipt. And here's a lovely note she left for me admitting to the damage. I handed over the note. The judge read it slowly. Then looked at her. Judge, I ruined your sanctuary. Ma'am, did you write this? Karen went pale. Judgment, $10,000 in my favor. The fallout? She now has an eviction on her record. A small claims judgment. Her credit is wrecked. She's 28, living in her childhood bedroom with her enabling mother, and I've already filed to garnish her stylist wages. It'll take years, maybe $150 at a time, but I'll get every penny. Julian got named too. The eviction's on his record now. I heard he packed up his artist dreams and left town. Me? I'm out some legal fees. My sofa's gone. The Aura system? Not replacing it. I'm actually enjoying the quiet, dumb light bulbs and all. This wasn't a clean win. It was messy, expensive, and ugly. But it was mine. She thought she could make ultimatums. She thought I'd fold. She wanted to see if I'd blink. I didn't.